biography, Rick, it's got to be the truth, and I did it. And the stuff in it I'm a bit of ashamed of, and I'm still ashamed of some of it now, but 99% true. Anyway, it outsold every other autobiography of the year. It went to #1 for 5 weeks in the charts and sold 1/3 It sold 1/3 so I'd been skinned, I'd lost my home, and Rita was doing the negotiating for the book. And I remember sitting in the house, and the phone went, and she picked the phone and said, "Hello, 250,000, don't be silly." "What are you doing? Take it, take it." "No, don't be wasting that. Put the phone." I said, "Why didn't you take it?" Rita, she said, "Am I dealing with this or you?" I said, "You." She said, "Well, mind your own business." Anyway, so what I done, I couldn't stand it. The phone gone, was terrified. So I went outside. I only drive a Skoda. It's in the car park now, a little old Skoda. I drove and I went and sat on the promenade and anyway, I was there for about an hour and the phone went. And it was Rita. She said, "Is that Mr. Coward?" I said, "Yes, it is." She said, we've sorted a deal out for the book." I said, "What did we get?" And she said, 800,000. And she said, "And while you're on the phone," she said, "I've got an advert for you to do, and you're getting 400,000 for that." So we went from being skinned, losing my house and everything, we've now got 1.2 million pound. So you know the fella that said, "Money doesn't buy you happiness," he doesn't know what he's talking about. He does not know what he's talking about. But anyway, we got a little bit lucky and we got a few little jobs in and we started making a bit of a name, and then we were able to give a little bit back. So we gave £1 million to Alder Ray, to the Children's Hospital, because I love kids. I love kids. And then we gave a few quid, about 200 or 250,000, to the Countess of Chester. You know, where they've had all that trouble with this court cases on, this big court cases on now with this Lucy Letby. I think we give them about £300,000. And you know what, I thank God every day, because I've been down there and I've been up there and I love it. I absolutely love it. I've met some wonderful people. And I remember I used to do a thing with Ken Dodd called the Good Turn Society, which we hold every month in Devonshire House. And it's anyone who's been on the stage, they go there, and it's called the Good Turns Society. And they raise a few bob, and anyone who's in the business, any artists, singers, dancers or whatever, if they're skint, they give them a few bob. It's called the Good Turn Society. And one week they said to me, "Rick, can you go to the John Lennon Airport and pick Norman Wisdom up?" I said, "Oh, yeah, it'll be made up." He said, "Bring him to the zoo." So I went and I picked him up and he got in the car and he's lovely, absolutely lovely. And I was talking to him and I said, "Hey, Norman," I said, "you've done everything." I said, "During the Cold War," I said, when the Cold War was on between the Russians and the Americans, I said, "your films were the only British films that were allowed to be shown in the Eastern Bloc." I said, "the statues to you all over Albania." He said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "Well, what's the greatest thing that's happened to you?" And he said, "The greatest thing that's happened to me is," he said, "when they got me knighthood." I said, "Go away. When you got your knight, that's the great." He said, "Oh, are you?" He said, "And I'm never nervous." He said, "But when I went to get my medal at the Buckingham Palace," he said, "I walked in." He said, "There was a room with about 400 or 500 people there." He said, "I actually felt nervous. I actually felt nervous." And he said, "I didn't know what to do for a minute." He said, "But Prince Philip was there and he shouted, 'Norman, come on, come.'" So he said, "I went over and stood next to Prince Philip." So Prince Philip said to him, "Norman, you should have got this medal 30 or 40 years ago." He said, "No, sir, no." He said, "I'm delighted to be getting it now. I am absolutely to be getting it now." He said, "No, no." He said, "You're too modest." He said, and as I was talking to Prince Philip, he said, "We heard," and Norman said, What's that? And Prince Philip said, "Oh, that's the Queen." Norman said, "Bloody hell, she can't half play that trumpet."